Laptop, check. Cell phone, check. Internet connection, check.
The era of the digital business rockstar has arrived.
Live, work, and play anytime, anywhere.
Few have cracked the code. Today, you will be one of them. Now, from an exotic location somewhere in the world, business maverick and global lifestyle expert on a mission to help struggling entrepreneurs reclaim their time and lifestyle. Here's New York Times best-selling author, Daven Michaels. This is the Jetset Entrepreneur.
This is Daven Michaels. Welcome to the Jetset Entrepreneur telecast, webinar, and podcast, where you want to be if you want to live life by your own design rather than having a life that your business dictates for you. And today we're going to be talking about offline marketing and a specific tool that you can use to grow your business utilizing offline marketing. And we're going to have free tickets to Beyond Marketing Live, the event that has taken place all over the globe. We've done all over the globe, including Australia, New Zealand, the U.S., Europe, Asia. And this is an event where entrepreneurs come to learn the latest and greatest in both offline and online marketing. And then we share and show you how to outsource and delegate it all so that you can live your ideal life. And I have free tickets for you just being on the webinar here with us today. We're going to get those free tickets to you, and I'll give you the details on that in just a few minutes. And the next Beyond Marketing Live takes place April 15th, 16th, and 17th at the SLS Hotel, Las Vegas. And what's really cool is the VIP party takes place at my house. So you get to hang out with me in my home, and we're going to have a lot of fun. Isn't that right, Bruce?
Absolutely. And I can tell you with impunity, guys, I've been to his house. It's really, really cool. You take an elevator up to a private floor. That's how cool it is, and the views are off the charts.
Awesome. Well, thanks, bud. And and so you can be there with us April 15th, 16th, and 17th. And on the 16th, you can be up at my place, and we can be toasting and having cocktails together. So I'm super excited about that. I'll give you the details in just a moment on that. And by the way, if you're not currently a subscriber, then you want to make sure to subscribe on iTunes so that you can take the Jetset Entrepreneur with you. But do keep in mind, the only way you can participate live and see us, because right now you can actually see us in person, is to be on the webinar. And to get the invite to the webinar, always remember to go to davenmichaels.com and just join our community by opting in, and you will receive notifications of the Jetset Entrepreneur Live. And I want to welcome all of our live viewers. I can see a ton of people: Hank, Annie, Jason, Peter, Michelle, Rodrigo, and the list goes on and on. I see people logging in from all over the world. I want to welcome you, and I want to make sure you can all hear me okay. And if you can, type a big fat yes into the chat, please. And remember that this is a on conversation, so please feel free to jump in, and we will answer your questions. And I can see lots of yeses, so you can all hear me okay. So then in that case, I want to introduce you to one of my best friends in the whole world, and my esteemed guest, Mr. Bruce Mack. Bruce, welcome to the Jetset Entrepreneur.
Hey, welcome to being here as well, and thanks so much for giving me an opportunity to jump on and speak with everybody today.
Awesome, and I'm super excited to have you here, bud. And Bruce, you and I have literally been all over the world together, both myself, Liz, your girlfriend, Deb. I mean, we've been all over the Caribbean, we've been all over Mexico, and in July, we're heading to Dubrovnik, Kotar. We're going to hang out in Venice for a few days. We're going to Spain. We're going to be in Mykonos, and did I miss any places?
Let's see. I've got Rome, Florence, Marseille, in
Actually,
France.
I'm going to leave you in Florence and Marseille, because remember, we're leaving you in Spain, and Liz and Marilyn are going home, and I'm moving on to a meeting in York. So, but anyways, it'll be awesome. So we're basically taking the whole month of June off, and we're going to be in Europe the whole time. And I always call it a workation, because we can never really get away 100% from work. Otherwise, we start having withdrawals. But it'll be probably about 10% work, 90% fun. Yeah.
I'm looking for at least that equation, maybe 91.
Yeah, that sounds good. So everyone, let me tell you about my great friend Bruce. Bruce is a marketer. He is an incredibly successful investor in real estate. He has been around for a long time. Bruce, you were in the marketing space or the info marketing space way before I was. And I'd love it if you could just share with everyone a little bit about your background, go a little deep, and tell us how you got to where you are today.
Be glad to. So I've been in info marketing and people-to-people, I would call belly-to-belly marketing for decades. Started out as a corporate recruiter way back when in the 70s, believe it or not, and did that for a number of decades. Placed insurance executives and also placed high-tech executives. Those were the two main disciplines that I focused on. After that, strangely enough, I got into the merchant acquiring business and ended up having a sales force of over 100 people working with merchants belly to belly out in the trenches, setting up merchants for MasterCard, Visa, and point-of-sale systems, as well as ATM cash machines. Always wanted to get involved in more people helping businesses rather than necessarily business helping businesses. So I got licensed as a financial advisor and worked for, again, another couple of decades as a licensed financial advisor, helping people so that they could retire instead of like 95% of the population broke, retire wealthy, retire with dignity, and retire with money in their pocket so that they could do what they want, when they want, and where they want. From that vantage point, I also felt that if I could spread the word and really get my message across in a much bigger way, wouldn't that be a good thing? So I got into the premium incentives industry. I worked with people. I coached people on how to take their shopping habits, how to take their purchasing habits, how to take their saving habits, and how to take all of that, wrap it up into how they could save more, to be able to buy more, to be able to have more when they were retiring. For a period of time when the market got hot in the early mid-2000s, I got into real estate. And I worked with people that were in financial distress and did things like split equity so that they wouldn't be cast out on the street even though they were in foreclosure. And I was able to effectively buy, rehab, and flip over 150 properties. But it just wasn't enough. I really wanted to get back to what I wanted to get back to, which was helping people in a broader way. So what I did was I created a program that saves people on virtually everything that they do on a daily basis, and created and wrote a book. And that's really where I am today, is working with people on a local, regional, and nationwide basis, helping them save so that they can save them their way to financial freedom.
Cool. And we'll go ahead and we'll go deep and talk a little bit more about that in a minute. I always like to share some fun facts. So also, can you tell everyone what you were up to and what you were doing in the 60s?
The jailable offenses or the non-jailable offenses?
Bruce was a hippie in the 60s. You were a hippie in the 60s.
Well, let's put it this way, guys. The parts that I remember about the 60s, and there's much more that I don't remember than I do remember,
right.
But I do remember going to places like the Fillmore Auditorium, the Avalon Ballroom, and seeing groups like the Grateful Dead and the Airplane and so on and so forth. Hey, I grew up in San Francisco in the 60s, so you know where I was. I was right in the thick of things, and I was absolutely a hippie.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And Bruce, did I ever tell you that for Lessons from Beyond, which is one of my inspirational book series that has yet to be released, I interviewed Grace Slick. Did I tell you about that?
No, I had no idea. Gracie Slick used to literally live about 10 blocks from where I grew up.
Gotcha. And for those of you who don't know who Grace Slick was, she was the lead singer of Jefferson Airplane, which later became Jefferson Starship, and they were huge. And we did an audio interview, but I could not get her on camera. She's like, you know what? She's like, people don't want rockers that are old ladies, like just because she's an older woman now, you know. She's like, I'm not going to do it on camera, but she was very gracious and very edgy. It was fun interviewing her, so that was pretty cool. And also, Bruce is an esteemed member of the Mastery Retreats, my private mastermind for super successful business people. And Bruce would have his ring, but
I want to see my ring.
I know.
Look,
The ring is,
look at my ring. Isn't that gorgeous? I
It's-
love my ring.
It's on its way to you, I promise. It should show up any minute. And thanks for being cool about it, Bruce. Bruce just recently joined, and he was the first person to raise his hand and get his ring, but then everybody snagged him. So anyways, that was my fault. But anyways, welcome aboard, buddy, and I look forward to the next year with you. It's going to be really awesome. So yeah. Okay, so what I wanted the theme of today's Jetset Entrepreneur to be was offline marketing, because so many of us are focused on online marketing. And that's great. I mean, the world is going online for sure, but I'm all about, not leaving money on the table. And if you're watching the Jetset Entrepreneur right now, my guess is that you are leaving money on the table. As a matter of fact, I'm sure of it. Unless you've worked with me personally, my guess is you're probably leaving 80% of the money on the table. And I'll give you some examples. There are a ton of different things. Well, let me back up a second. If you have a business today, you probably sell one thing, or you sell a small line of things. And I'll kind of put that in perspective. Let's say that you're a real estate agent. Well, my guess is you do two things, buy and sell. That's probably what you do. You do buyers and sellers, right? But the odds are that there are a ton of other things that if you sold them to your clients, they would buy them from you because they know, like, and trust you. And an example would be, staging services, moving services, title insurance, and the list goes on and on. There's all kinds of things you could sell. Now, as a real estate agent, of course, there are some certain limitations on what you can and can't do. But the reality is there's a ton of things that you could sell, but you don't. And so you're leaving all this money on the table. And then at the same time, every time you sell something to somebody else, there's a whole bunch of opportunities to continue to sell to them. But what we tend to do as entrepreneurs is we tend to focus on the next sale, on the next person coming into our business, when the reality is the easiest person to sell to is somebody that has already bought from you before, somebody that knows, likes, and trusts you, and that's who you want to be working with. And anytime you sell something to somebody, there's probably a potential upsell opportunity and a potential downsell opportunity. And then after that, you could have one of your people pick up the phone, reach out to somebody, and find out what their challenges are in their business. And if you can solve that challenge, boom, you've got something else you can sell to them. So there's so many avenues for revenue, and we usually find that your prime product, your main product, is just a fraction of what you could be selling. And so one of the things that I find today is that everybody's so focused on online, they forget about selling on the phone, they forget about selling through direct mail, and they forget about selling person to person. And so, Bruce, you've recently, well, not recently, but a while ago, you created an incentive program that at first I wasn't super hot for, okay? But over time, as I began to focus on you sharing that story with me, and I apologize for not doing it faster, I saw the value in it, and I even jumped on board myself. Now, I'm not here to sell you anything here today. I guess I am here to sell you on one thing, and that is attending Beyond Marketing Live, which is coming up a couple weeks from now in Las Vegas. There's still time for you to make a reservation and get out here and be with us. But there is no selling. I'm inviting you to come for free. And Beyond Marketing Live is not a pitch-a-thon, although I do bring in a couple outside speakers. It's myself and our VP Vijal Parma sharing the latest and greatest in marketing, and then we show you processes to outsource and delegate it all so you can live your ideal life. Well, one of the speakers at the event is Bruce Mack, and so I thought we'd kind of do a little preview and talk about some offline strategies. And before we do, let me just back up 1 second. Bruce, I'd like to talk to you for a moment about your new book that you've written. Can you, because I think it's really cool. And look, at the end of the day, the way you're going to make more money is to increase your revenue and decrease your expenses. So, Bruce, can you share your new book and what it's all about and tell us about it? There it is.
There it is. And there's my ugly mugshot right here.
It's a great picture. Saving Secrets Exposed, correct?
Yep.
Awesome, awesome. So tell us about the book, Bruce.
Well, briefly, Daven, the book is a combination, or I should say a compilation of 14 chapters of saving strategies along with wealth building strategies. And we start off with basic things that we're doing in our everyday life. So what do we do in our everyday life? Well, one of the things we do in our everyday life is we go shopping at the grocery store. And the average family of four is spending over $11,000 a year on their groceries. So if we can make a significant dent in that, and we can, and we show you how to, well, then we're putting thousands and thousands of dollars potentially in your back pocket that you can use and reappropriate for other things, if nothing else, for retirement and compound earning. Another place that I find that we're spending, are you ready for this? Half of today's food budget is spent on eating out at restaurants. Again, we happen to have the ability to show people how to get crazy discounts on eating out at restaurants. We've got lists in the book, 101 restaurants where kids eat free. A lot of you have kids that are 12 years old or under, and we've got, things categorized by the day of the week, so on and so forth, so you know where to go, when to go, and how much you can save, which is 100% because it's absolutely free. Holidays where you get free stuff. For instance, if you stayed home on Valentine's Day this year, well, if you stayed home after you went out to Jerry's, Ben and Jerry's, and you could have gotten a free ice cream, and then you could have stopped off at your local Redbox and picked up a wonderful movie, you could have taken the ice cream home, watched the movie, and you could have done it all for free. And there's so many things that are out there, so many opportunities that are out there, and savings opportunities that are out there. We talk about credit worthiness, and about how that's killing you, and about how achieving better credit can save you quite literally in interest lost or saved hundreds of thousands of dollars, and wealth strategies and wealth building techniques, along with everyday household savings around the house of ways to keep things from spoiling, about how to retool things, about how to use things, and about how to save on everyday expenses. So at a broad brush, that's really what the book is all about, is how to save and therefore reappropriate so that those savings become wealth building strategies.
Awesome. Awesome. And by the way, if you see me kind of looking around here, I'm actually taking notes. So just in case you're wondering. And let's see, who is it? Elvira said, Daven, looks like you need a shave. Yeah, I guess it's true. I do.
We still have to get discounts on razor blades too.
Okay, sounds good. The funny thing is, you all see me usually on videos, traveling all over the globe, or on stages. And yes, I'm clean shaven. But the reality is, because I don't have a boss to check in with, I don't shave very often, actually, maybe like once a week or something like that, or if I have to be presentable. So I hope you don't mind that I'm letting my hair down a little bit and being a little casual here.
It's looking good, man. It's looking good.
Thanks,
I love it.
All right. Okay, so Bruce, you've actually created a pretty powerful tool. The more and more I learn about it, the more I think this is really cool. And it's a savings card. And you've taken a savings card, you load it up with all these savings so people can save a bunch of money, which everybody is always interested in. I know me personally, I'll drive across town to use like a loyalty card or a gift card, which is stupid because, I'm spending just as much money in gas, although not anymore now that gas prices are low. But I'll just do it. It's gamification. I enjoy getting deals. I love when I go to the grocery store and it says you save $26. I'm like, I get all excited. And not that I'm cheap, I just think it's fun, So Bruce, you've created this discount card, but this discount card is all about saving people money, but you've set it up in a way that it can become a huge tool to grow your business. So you want to talk a little bit about this? I know you're going to really expand on this at Beyond Marketing Live, but if you could kind of share some info on it now, that'd be really cool.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, you talked about going to the grocery store just yesterday, and we still have that available. One of the discounts that we've got in our program, a $15 coupon for Whole Foods. How cool is that? I mean, just
Whole paycheck.
yeah. I mean, I don't know about you. Given the opportunity to be able to save and or the opportunity to be able to spend, I'd much rather spend or much rather save when I'm spending and having the last laugh be on them and therefore not on me because I'm spending too much. The card that we created, this is what the card looks like. You know what? Everything's opposite. So, you know, and when you're on camera.
Now that's really cool, Bruce. I know you're creating a custom card for us. It's got like our pictures on it, the whole.
Oh, I love your card. It is so cool. Right now, we're getting your card, and your websites are already been designed and up and so on and so forth. But
cool.
The premise is, with the card, you take the card and you log in, you go to a back-end website where you're getting redemption capabilities and savings literally on everything and anything. Savings at Home Depot, savings on travel, savings on gift cards. Literally on a daily basis, we'll have up to 200 gift cards in places like Ruth Chris as well as Macaroni Grill, Macy's as well as Saks. And savings of up to 39% on gift cards. And those savings, when we teach you to layer those savings that you can get with gift cards on top of a coupon or other discount types of savings programs are there, that's strategies where you're implying what we call the layering level of savings over savings to create even more and massive savings. So these are the types of things that we're showing people on a daily basis so that they can maximize and literally save $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a year just by using our system.
Okay, so that's really cool. People can use the card. They can save thousands of dollars a year, which is huge. I mean, somebody was saying, I think here at when we did the master retreats here a couple of weeks ago at the house, which is my private mastermind we do at the house for all our real big players. And somebody mentioned, oh yeah, Ed Diamond, I think he said, you know, Bruce, you rather than say you're going to save all this money, you'd say like, how'd you like to drive a free Mercedes or something like that? Because, you know, that you could easily save enough money for like a Mercedes car payment, right? So I thought that was really cool. Yeah. But let's talk about how you can use this as an offline strategy to use it as sort of a lead magnet to bring people into your business. And I'll give you a perfect example. So we're creating a custom branded card for us. And in a moment, I'll share about some of the ideas or some of the things that we're utilizing the card for to use as a lead magnet in our business. But can you kind of address that, Bruce? Talk about the way businesses are using the cards to bring more business into their business.
Great. Great question. One of the most effective strategies that I've seen businesses utilize is a offline strategy to building their own business up. Now, I think we all need to be thinking 10, 20, 30, maybe 40 years in advance if you have a offline business, and it may be and if it's a brick and mortar business or not. And knowing that the value of the business lays in the assignable asset of the business, and the assignable asset of the business is the goodwill, the blue sky, and quite frankly, it's your mailing list or your customer list. And if you've got a great customer list, client list, mailing list, call it what you will, that blue sky is worth, it's gold. It's absolutely gold. So now let's talk about the fact that, and you're seeing this in many of the brick and mortar businesses, even though they are later adopters, a lot of them are now starting to implement rewards programs, and they're implementing VIP programs and these types of programs. One of the biggest challenges that they have is getting people to opt in and or sign up at point of sale for these types of programs. Well, if they've got an inducement, if you will, of an immediate savings or an ability to get into a program like our program as an incentive for giving your information to get into the VIP program, well, that becomes a no-brainer. So we're seeing tent stands that we're teaching our merchants to put up at the point of sale and giving them the information and the inducement capabilities by utilizing our card program to get the buyer's information, or prospective buyer and or client shopper, into their database so that they can then do some online types of working with them, where they're dripping on them, where they're offering them sale items, when they're bringing them into the store when things are slower and they want to reduce inventory. And of course, with that further thinking, to be able to have a list for blue sky when they move on to their retirement. So that's just a couple of ideas.
Yeah, cool. Like I know at the last mastery retreat, one of our members, his name is Jet. So Jet owns a couple of franchises that do shelving. They come out and they build out your shelves in your kitchen and do that whole bit. And so the average ticket for Jet is about $3,000. So when one of his estimators go out, the average bid is about $3,000. So the idea that we came up with at the mastery retreat was you could take these $250 incentive cards and say, hey, when you schedule a free estimate, not only will you get the free estimate, but we'll give you a $250 savings card just for scheduling that appointment, and we'll bring it to you when we come out. And then we said, okay, now when you bid that $3,000 offer, you say, hey, not only is it $3,000, but we're going to up the savings reward from $250 to $3,000. There's no extra cost for Jet, but now it's almost like a wash. Like, hey, yes, you're going to pay $3,000 to get your cabinets done, which is what you wanted to do anyways. You wanted these cabinets, but we're going to give you a $3,000 savings to offset it, so your cost is almost zero.
And likewise, that philosophy has worked very, very well and continues to work gangbusters for places like mattress stores, because a mattress store is a commodity. Just taking that vertical for example, I mean, there's Sealy, Serta, Simmons, Tempur-Pedic, and the same mattresses are down the block. But we all know that when somebody comes in, if they leave because they go to shop down the block, then it becomes a commodity item. Well, what if somebody could say, and they are saying with our clients, if you stay and you buy now, we'll give you a $1,000 card for a $1,000 mattress set, a $2,000 card if it's up to $2,000, and a $3,000 card if it's up to $3,000 or more. Likewise, car dealerships, take a test drive today and receive a $1,000 savings card. So when you start to apply the implementation utilization of a high-value premium incentive and affix that to your good, service, or product as an inducement for a sale and or as an inducement for an appointment, where we're getting very, very good traction. For instance, if somebody's in in-home sales, alarm sales, water treatment sales, construction bids, whatever that in-home sale might be, or maybe they're insurance people that are looking for a sit for somebody to discuss potentially life insurance or an indexed universal life policy, whatever it might be, we're finding that these are, not only are they working between 20 to 50% or more in terms of the closing rate for a appointment, but they're also working 20 to 50% or more for a show rate, where people are not canceling, they're keeping their appointments, and there's nothing more expensive for somebody who's out in the field than doing what I call a be-back. That be-back stuff kills you when you go out, you have an appointment, and they're not there, or you have a scheduled appointment, you had them in your schedule at a certain time, then they cancel. That's a killer. That's crushing you, and that's wasted dead time that nobody wants to have in any business that they're involved with.
Sure. So guys, what we're talking about here really is we're talking about lead magnets. You can use a physical lead magnet in your business. You can use an online lead magnet. But what we're talking about today is creating physical lead magnets. Now, you could use anything. You could use a book, you know, your calling card, or your book as a calling card, really. you could use whatever, but what's really cool is what Bruce has created is this physical card. He's kind of done it for you. He's created that incentive for you that can be used in any vertical or business, which is really cool. Bruce, Jason is in the chat, and Jason says, he says, I don't get it. He said, how could I give away $3,000 in discounts and still make $3,000 in gross sales? You want to address that, Bruce?
That's a great question. Actually, this particular card, let me hold this one back up so you can see it. This one here, excuse me, again, everything's opposite when you're on camera.
Yeah.
This one's a $500 card. And we print up cards that have different affinity face amounts, anywhere from $100 up to $3,000. And the affinity that's printed on the card is relative to the savings. And we also have different expiry times. Matter of fact, let me hold this card back up again. This card says, as you can see, it says lifetime membership. Well, we have cards that we print up, and or we also have a virtual card delivery system, which emails a card, and it can have anything from a 7-day expiry, 30-day expiry, 60, 90-day, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, and or lifetime. So if we dial down the affinity amount on the face of the card and or time, well, then that could be great for certain types of businesses and or product services that we're looking to promote, and dial it up if we're looking to justify on a larger dollar amount to overcome the objection of price. The question that you had, what about the price on the front? Very, very simple. The price on the front is, if you use the card, you will save that much. That's our guarantee, and it's right on the back. Matter of fact, here's the guarantee. And like I said several minutes ago, Daven, if you use the card, when you use the card, we are seeing people saving as much as $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7 or more $1,000 annually just from using the card. And that's why we're able to print on the card the affinity amount.
Okay, so a couple things. So I think we didn't quite understand Jason's question. So what Jason is saying, he's saying, yes, how do I pay $3,000 and still make $3,000? He's not understanding. So basically, Bruce, and we're not trying to sell anything on this webinar, but they basically, they get your cards, they pay for the cards, and then they can go out and give them out, and it doesn't cost them anything, right? Whether they offer a $250 discount or a $3,000 discount, it doesn't cost the business that's giving these out, doesn't cost them anything beyond that, correct?
The answer is yes. The beauty with absolutely. The beauty with a premium incentive that is a viable premium incentive is that they're extremely low cost or virtually no cost with a very high perceived and actual intrinsic value to the premium incentive. And that's exactly what we've created. We've created a low cost, no cost card that has an immense amount of value when used by the consumer.
Cool. Awesome. Okay, so let's talk about the ways that businesses are using the card to grow their business. And I'll give you a couple of examples here. So we do our events all over the globe, and we have a different event coming up besides Beyond Marketing Live. And our goal is to really make sure that, you know, it's one thing for people to register for the event, it's another thing for them to actually show up and take action. So we want to make sure that people show up. So we actually said, hey, come to the event and show up, and we'll give you a $250 savings card just for showing up. And that's kind of one of the ways that we're using it as an incentive. Bruce, do you want to share some ways other business owners are utilizing the cards to get people to take action and grow their business?
Well, as I stated earlier, some of them are using them for creating client lists that for remarketing purposes. I have clients using them who have membership sites. For one of the greatest ways to grow a business is to have a membership site. I've got one company alone. They've got a very, very thriving olive oil company, and they want to be selling olive oils paired with different vinegars on a monthly basis for X amount of money. And one of the challenges that any business has is once you get them on the consumer onto a monthly recurring membership model, which is nirvana, then the challenge is to keep your stick rate high and keep them on the program. Well, what she has done, which is working out phenomenally for her, is she is offering people the savings card with her custom brand and custom look that all ties in, so it becomes a very homogeneous look and feel. And she's offering them the incentive that as long as they stay on their monthly program for their olive oil and vinegar pairing shipping, that they will maintain a membership in our program, which far outstrips the cost of the membership program that she's with. So if you take that and apply that further to athletic clubs or any membership organization, this is a win-win for continuity and increased stick rate over a period of time. And that's just one other way that we're getting great traction and very, very satisfied clients that are having stick rates far beyond the norm and the typical in the industries.
So Jill H. says, I'm always interested in growing my list, but I don't understand how this would help me grow my list.
Okay. Well, depending how you're growing your list, can we venture to the online for a moment?
Yeah, sure. Well, that's
Okay.
what the list would be. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I've seen people grow lists in an offline way too.
That's true. You're right.
For instance, you could always print up business cards, which you're handing out at meetings or meetup groups or this or that. Have a premium incentive for opting in, and where you have where you can take the offline and create an online. Mm-hmm. But if you have an online offer, whether it's a report or it's a book or it's a sample or it's a whatever it is, and you want to get people to opt in, so that you can market to them on an ongoing basis. One of the greatest tools, one of the most effective things that we're seeing, and it's working like gangbusters with our clients, is to offer the Platinum Savings Card as an offering, as for lack of a better word, lead bait or a tripwire to opt into your list. So we're giving people, in that particular case, my suggestion is that they give them a $100 card and it has a 30-day fuse on it. That seems to be working really, really great and getting massive results for people to be able to build huge lists utilizing our savings card, because who doesn't want savings? It's a universal. We all want savings. We all want to feel like we're getting a good deal, and we all want to reward the person who's going to tell us about a good deal and a good savings. So it gives people a warm, fuzzy feeling when they're getting this as a program, and they're getting so much value and so much content. When they get that, they're much more likely to proceed further and work with the individual because they've gotten something of such great value.
So also, when people register their card and they have to opt in to do that, you get the data as well, right?
Absolutely. That data goes right. That data goes right to the individual, and we have a couple of different ways. We have APIs. We've got a CSV uploaders so that they can be sent out in bulk. So we make it easy and simple to create a delivery system to the people as they are doing their list building.
Okay, cool. So Bruce, because I have a call I have to be on in about 5 minutes, we're going to run a little short today, but I want to cover a few more points quickly before we cut away. So I know a lot of speakers watch us, and of course I'm a speaker as well. So Bruce, tell me how speakers could use this card to grow their business and build their list.
I will, but you gotta leave me a minute or two to tell you what I did the other day on a couple of barters.
That's on my list. That's on my list.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I gotta share this with you. I'm so blown away with what we were able to do.
Yeah.
We created a subordinate card, and literally where it says, I don't have one right in front of me, but where it says Platinum Savings Card, it says Platinum Book Club. The idea is this, and it works, where a speaker goes out and they literally, when they're up on stage and or if they are speaking after break, the cards get distributed to everybody's seat. The speaker gets up on the stage and says, guys, I have a wonderful gift before we even get started. And you take the card that I just gave you, go to the back, turn it over, take out your smartphone right now, and you're going to want to right now because you're going to get an incredible gift right now. You're going to get my new report. You're going to get a new a chapter out of my latest book. You're going to get the entire book, whatever the offer may be. When somebody goes there, quite literally, the way we've set it up is they're going to go to a specialized, customized landing page that's got their picture up there, their report, a picture of the report or their book, whatever the case may be. And then the speaker also says, but guess what? I've got another gift for you. Fast action bonus. You're going to get a complimentary membership to the Platinum Savings Club. And the Platinum Savings Club is going to save you up to 90% on groceries, 90% on travel, 90% at over 90,000 restaurants, and so much more. But that fast action bonus goes away because my friend who I am utilizing the card promotion with said that we could only do it for today. So guys, go there right now, get my book, get the Platinum Savings complimentary membership, and you will also get a second book. You're going to get a digital download of the Savings Secrets Exposed. So this is creating up to a 90%, and I'll say that again because the numbers are off the charts, up to a 90% opt-in for speakers where normally they would only get 10, 20, or if they're on fire, 25% of the people in the room's names, because that's how many people they get when they sell their product, service, or good.
Cool. All right. Ernesto says, Bruce, how do I get a copy of the book? Now, I know they can get a copy of the book at Beyond Marketing Live. Is there another way they can get a copy of the book?
At Beyond Marketing Live.
Okay, perfect. I love it because I know the book just came out, so that's great. So, Bruce, we only have a couple more minutes, but I love these stories. So I know when you were at the Mastery Retreats a couple weeks ago, we were all staying at the SLS Hotel, and you did something pretty cool with your card. Do you want to explain how that worked?
I'd be delighted to. So I love to use my card my cards for barter, and I'm always trying to think of new ways that I can use them. I've used them successfully for getting deals on printing, for getting deals on so many different goods and services that I personally use in my business on a daily basis, for hardware, for software, for you name it. So I came to the Mastery Retreat, we had a fabulous time, great group of people. And when I checked in, I spoke to the room check-in clerk, and I asked him how his day was going, so on and so forth, and he shared that with me. And I said, well, I'd like to make your day go even better, and I'd love you to give me whatever, frankly, I'd love to get an upgrade. I'd like to give this to you. So I gave him a card, and I'm telling you, the fingers were flying this quick. I ended up getting, the rack rate was $130 for the room. I got boosted up to a $295 a night room for 3 nights, which was a $390 savings over the several nights that I was there for the retreat. So while the other guys were staying in whatever room they were staying in and paying whatever price they were paying, I was paying $130 a night for ostensibly a $300 a night room. And it was awesome.
I saw your suite. It was killer. It was great. So very cool. And I know you do that all day long. So unfortunately, Unfortunately, we don't have more time to share those stories, but we will share more at Beyond Marketing Live for sure. So I did make a promise to you, and that is free tickets to Beyond Marketing Live, which is coming up April 15th, 16th, 17th at the SLS Las Vegas Hotel. And also, by the way, when you stay or when you come to the event, we give you a free month of service at 123 Employee, 40 hours, a $546 value for being there. And the way we do it is come and stay for the first day, you receive 10 hours, stay through the end of the second day, you receive 20 hours, stay to the end of the third day, and you receive 40 hours. And that's just our gift to you. And the reason we do that is because we know that so many people will come to the event, they'll have a great time, they'll learn a ton of great information, and many will become clients of ours, which is why we're happy to give you some free tickets for the event. But only register if you're going to show, because we're literally so close to sold out. We freed up a few tickets. So go to beyondmarketinglive.com. That's beyondmarketinglive.com. Use the free promo code Jetset for you and your guests, but only register if you're coming. Make your plane reservations, get here to Vegas. Also, you can get a discounted rate at the hotel. We may be sold out on the hotel block. If you have any problems with that, reach out to Liz, our affiliate manager. You can email her at jv@123employee.com. That's JV for joint venture at 123employee.com, and she'll get you squared away. If you still can't find a room, of course, we're in Vegas, so there's a million rooms, but you want to try to be at the hotel because that's where all the magic happens.
Oh, by the way, let me the hotel is awesome. Even if you don't get to suite, they've got great restaurants, and it is a lovely, lovely facility. They did a 10 on a 1 to 10.
Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite hotels on the Strip. And remember, register for VIP, which you will be presented with that option when you register, and you can party with us at my house on Saturday night. And we have a whole bunch of other goodies for you for the VIPs as well. So we have to cut away. Unfortunately, we're just out of time, but I look forward to meeting you live and in person at Beyond Marketing Live. I'll be joined by one of the most outstanding speakers I know, Bruce Mack. And if you are not currently registered for the Jetset Entrepreneur Podcast, make sure to go to iTunes and register now so that you can take us on the road with you. But do keep in mind, the only way to participate live is to be on this webinar, and we only post about 30 or 40% of the content on iTunes. The rest is all the VIP stuff that you can only get by being with us live. And if you're not with us live right now, make sure to go to davenmichaels.com, DAVENMICHAELS.com, and just opt in to get your free goodies, and then you'll get notifications of every time the Jetset Entrepreneur goes live every Wednesday at noon PST. So on behalf of myself and my great friend Bruce Mack, thanks for joining us on the Jetset Entrepreneur, and until next time, this is Daven Michaels. Live your true life adventure. Bye for now.